Magic Kingdom, Disney World's OG park. It's a classic full of history, nostalgic attractions, yet it's gone through serious transformations in 50 years. So it begs the question, was it better before? Hey everybody, it's Chris for allears.net. It's time to journey through time for you to weigh in on whether or not you think Magic Kingdom should skew towards the classic, or if you're ready to pave the way for the futuristic computer-simulated world of Tron. As always, the results of this showdown come straight from allears.net readers and social media followers. We asked our readers whether they prefer the old or the new, and you might be surprised by their thoughts. There are a few big changes that mark the difference between then and now in Magic Kingdom, and for the sake of comparison, we're breaking down this retrospective look into 3 categories: history, food, and attractions. First up, Magic Kingdom then. Magic Kingdom opened on October 1st, 1971 with 23 attractions, and it was meant to be a new and improved version of Disneyland Park. It opened with the same 5 lands as Disneyland, plus the addition of Liberty Square. Many of the opening day attractions still remain in Magic Kingdom, but the biggest changes have taken place in Fantasyland. Within the first 5 years of opening, Disney added several new attractions, such as Pirates of the Caribbean, Tom Sawyer Island, Space Mountain, and Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. And throughout the 80s and 90s, more attractions were added, including fan favorites like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Splash Mountain. The hub also has changed quite a bit as the park has evolved. Reader Elise P. said, "One specific thing I appreciate about past Magic Kingdom is that there was more green space and greenery, just like more places to sit and relax. I know they've expanded the hub and walkways to accommodate more guest traffic and fireworks crowds, but there's something so totally charming about looking at old Magic Kingdom pictures and seeing flowers and benches around the hub."
When they opened Magic Kingdom in 1971, they set out to make a bigger and better Disneyland, and they did plus it up in a lot of ways. In my opinion, having grown up with a Disneyland annual pass, I lived in California growing up, I think there was a lot more attention to detail and artistry in the original Disneyland than in Magic Kingdom. And Magic Kingdom, to me, going in the early days, always felt like it had more of a 1970s vibe as opposed to the 1950s vibe that Disneyland in California had. That being said, it was incredible to walk down Main Street and have the buildings be huge. They used less forced perspective. The buildings are actually very tall in Main Street, and the castle is also much bigger than Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland. Cinderella Castle is huge. So I think they did a lot of great things to plus it up, but I don't think they could quite match the artistry of Disneyland while blowing up the scale to the extent that they did.
In 1988, Mickey's Birthday Land opened on Mickey's 60th birthday, which was planned as a temporary attraction next to Fantasyland. It was later changed into Mickey's Starland and then Mickey's Toyland. In 1996, it reopened as Mickey's Toontown Fair for Magic Kingdom's 25th anniversary, where guests could visit Mickey and Minnie's country houses. This land closed in early 2011 to make way for new Fantasyland.
Mickey's Toontown Fair was the bomb.com. I loved that part of Magic Kingdom. Obviously, I was a little kid when it was around, heading towards teenhood. I loved Mickey's Toontown Fair. It was like Mickey's vacation home in Florida, and you could go meet Mickey there, and there's nothing like meeting Mickey at his house, meeting Minnie at her house. And there were like tactile experiences for kids. I have a core memory of this plate of cookies that was in Minnie's house, and they were holographic cookies. So you try to grab them and you couldn't because they weren't there. Oh man. In Toontown in California, do they have the cookies thing in Minnie's house? I would cry if they did. I would try to grab it and then I would cry tears probably.
When it comes to restaurants, a few opening day spots still remain in Magic Kingdom, like Cinderella's Royal Table, known originally as King Stephan's Banquet Hall, the Crystal Palace, which was originally cafeteria-style dining, the Diamond Horseshoe, the Lunching Pad, which is now in a different spot, Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe, Pinocchio Village House Restaurant, a version of the plaza that was just ice cream, and Sunshine Tree Terrace, which has since swapped spots with Aloha Isle. The popular Main Street Bakery has since become a Starbucks, though it keeps the same name and still offers some baked goods like the famous cinnamon rolls. And you might not know the McDonald's French fry stands were once a thing, where you could get actual McDonald's fries.
There are two foods I remember very specifically from the Magic Kingdom of yesteryear. Number one, back before Main Street Bakery was Starbucks, I didn't drink coffee then, so I didn't care that I had terrible coffee. That was like notoriously Disney had terrible coffee, so I didn't care then. But the cinnamon roll that was at the Main Street Bakery before it was owned by Starbucks was the best cinnamon roll you could get at Disney World. It was ooey, it was gooey, it was like always nice and moist, and I'm sorry for using the word moist, but Disney fans will say in the comments, you know how good that cinnamon roll was. The other thing I remember at Disney Park, specifically Magic Kingdom, were McDonald's French fries. Because Disney and McDonald's had a partnership and there were several places in each theme park where you could just buy McDonald's French fries. And in Magic Kingdom, I specifically remember Golden Oak Outpost, which is right across from Pecos Bills as you're headed from Adventureland to Frontierland. And it was just that little snack stand, and the thing they sold was McDonald's French fries. And oh my gosh, is there a better salty snack than a McDonald's French fry?
Opening attractions such as the Skyway, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea submarine voyage, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Snow White's Scary Adventures have been closed to make way for newer attractions, and at the former Mickey's Toontown Fair, attractions such as Donald's Boat, Mickey's Country House, Minnie's House, Toon Park, and Pixie Hollow have since been demolished for the new Storybook Circus Land.
One of the things that makes Fantasyland in Disneyland so special is that you are going to be getting so many of those original dark rides. So you're going to have Peter Pan, you will have Snow White, which actually recently got redone. You're also going to get Mr. Toad, which no longer exists in Disney World. So overall, it is a very special experience.
I really miss Snow White's Scary Adventures. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is fun, it's fine. I really like the mine scene. However, I grew up going through Snow White's Scary Adventures, and I miss that ride. Like that was a really big bummer for me when they took that out. Another thing that I miss about old Magic Kingdom, and this is kind of like a weird take, but like hear me out, I really miss the trees in the hub. And I get why there aren't trees there anymore, it's so that you can see the fireworks, and most notably the projections on the castle, because with the trees up, there were a lot of places that you could see those projections from, or would have been. So I get why they took the trees out, but I love the tree. Like think about Epcot. In Epcot, they had those like monoliths there for the long time with the Leave a Legacy statues, and then they got rid of those, made them super fun outside the park, and put trees back in, and it just feels so much more inviting and pretty. And I really miss that, because I do think that the hub grass vibe, and it's just all flat and open, is great obviously for crowds, it's great for watching the projections. However, it doesn't feel quite as small town end of Main Street as it used to, and that's something I really miss, which is a hot take, and I get it, I get why they're gone, but I'm still allowed to miss the trees, okay?
The pros. Magic Kingdom was intended to be bigger with more potential for growth, which is why they could fill it with all of the OG dark rides, which in turn became a huge part of Disney history and nostalgia was key to places like Mickey's Toontown Fair. The cons? The transportation center, while a great idea, is a huge time suck and not the most convenient way to get to the park. In some ways, Disneyland is still the better original park since many of Disney World's most popular rides came later. Before we travel to now, head over to All Ears socials on Facebook and Instagram for more Disney World Throwdowns, and allears.net to leave your reviews for everything Disney Parks related. Hotels, restaurants, rides, and more. It's all up to you to change this list right now by leaving your own review. Plus, you get to help your fellow followers have the best vacation ever. Next up, Magic Kingdom Now. One of the biggest changes in Magic Kingdom, besides the addition of popular rides like Pirates and Space Mountain, has been the construction of New Fantasyland beginning in 2011. It transformed Mickey's Toontown Fair to Storybook Circus, and you can find Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, as well as the Beast's Castle, where you can find Be Our Guest Restaurant, Gaston's Tavern, and Belle's Cottage. Dumbo the Flying Elephant was moved from its original location to the new Storybook Circus area, where it was expanded and a new interactive and indoors play area was added to the queue. In 2012, Snow White's Scary Adventures closed to make way for Princess Fairy Tale Hall, and the new family roller coaster Seven Dwarfs Mine Train opened in 2014.
I love New Fantasyland. It is very cool. I love that it added more castles. There's something I always liked about Shrek 2, where they go to Far, Far Away and they're driving down the road and you get to see all the princesses' houses. And that's what it should be, is that it should be that you're in Fantasyland and you're seeing all the different places that the princesses live. I love that. So now you can see Cinderella's castle and Rapunzel's tower and Ariel's castle with Eric. And it's really cool because there's more areas. Oh, and Beast Castle. I love that about it. I don't love the Storybook Circus took Toontown away from me because I can't touch the holographic cookies or go into Mickey's house. And that was a wholesome experience for me and I miss it.
So I'll admit, I actually really love Toontown Fair. I have a lot of nostalgia that goes along with Toontown Fair, and it was a really big part of my childhood. I loved it. However, New Fantasyland is really incredible. I think Dumbo, the expansion there of the 2 ride vehicle sets, is wonderful. You got Be Our Guest, you have the new Little Mermaid ride, so it definitely got some worthy replacements, even though I love Toontown Fair to begin with.
With the new Fantasyland expansion, the popular Be Our Guest restaurant opened in 2012, and with it came a big change. When Magic Kingdom first opened, no alcohol was served, but Be Our Guest restaurant was the first spot to begin serving alcohol. Since then, every table service restaurant now offers alcohol to guests in Magic Kingdom, which was a controversial change for the park.
Fun fact about me is I was one of the first cast members in to Be Our Guest restaurant, because after they were done with it for Imagineering and before they had turned it over to operations, they had previews in there for executives and Imagineers as well as like DVC and annual pass holders. So they brought over some of the Magic Kingdom tour guides to learn fun facts about the restaurant and give tours to those group of people, and I was one of them. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for Be Our Guest restaurant because I have really fond memories in there. As far as Be Our Guest food go, I do miss it being lunch and breakfast as a quick service restaurant, because I actually thought those offerings were better bang for your buck than dinner. As far as dinner goes, it's fine, it's good, but the point of paying to get in there is to get in there and see that gorgeous restaurant.
Many Magic Kingdom rides were changed in the 1990s and 2000s, like the Delta Dreamflight's transformation into Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. Or Mission to Mars turned into the incredibly scary extraterrestrial alien encounter. I'm still having some flashbacks on that one, which then turned into Stitch's Great Escape, which has since turned into an empty building. But many opening day attractions still exist in Magic Kingdom, so it hasn't completely changed.
Okay, let's be real. If you missed Delta Dream Flight, it's not the end of the world. I did love it because it was a beautiful ride. It was relaxing. It was a respite from the heat in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. And it was aspirational. It talked about going on vacation, and you were already on vacation. So you got to think about maybe going on your next vacation, which was fun.
I know it was not written here for me to speak about old attractions, but I would like to talk about Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, because I don't know if anyone else here besides Breedlove actually did it. But I did it, and I cried, and I was like 13 or 14. I was like old enough to not be that scared, but I was terrified, and I cried, and the blood drips on you and the spit.
Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Who out there remembers the commercials in the 90s showing extraterrestrial alien encounter clips where the alien was drooling on people's hands? It was drool in the commercials. Now everyone's saying, oh, it's blood, it's blood, it's blood. We never thought it was blood in the 90s. No one ever thought it was blood. It was alien drool because that's what was shown in the commercials. Now, I think this is one of those things, like the poop river, where people have all decided that it's really funny and fun and cool to say that these things are something that they weren't originally intended to be because it's turned into a legend. That was not a thing. It was saliva. That monster was on top of us and it was drooling on our hands. Slime, clear, gross slime from its mouth. It was absolutely not blood. It was saliva.
Reader Ang B said, if we were talking only about past rides versus current rides, I choose current rides. I didn't at all care for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and I love Winnie the Pooh. I prefer all of New Fantasyland to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
There's no denying that New Fantasyland completely changed Magic Kingdom, if for no other reason than it brought along one of the most popular rides in the park, which is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and one of the most popular restaurants, which is Be Our Guest. So overall, the New Fantasyland is one of the most popular lands in Disney World, and I think it just completely changed Magic Kingdom, truly for the better.
As reader Tom G responded to our question of past versus present Magic Kingdom, present. I love my memories of the past, but enjoy what's there now and in the future.
So Tron Light Cycle Run is a new attraction that's coming to Tomorrowland. It's kind of like tacked on to Tomorrowland, so it is technically an expansion. It's going to be a Tron-themed roller coaster where you ride a light cycle, motorcycle style, best way to ride a roller coaster. And you go through, you get like uploaded to the grid, and then you race through the internet, I think. But it looks really fun. You can see the construction from all over Magic Kingdom and it looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. A lot of people are like, does Tron belong in Magic Kingdom? Does Tron belong in Magic Kingdom? And I say to this, that. What? I don't know. Kinda. I mean, like, Tron is certainly very futuristic and that's the whole vibe of Tomorrowland. Do I think it's a perfect fit? No. Do I think it's a better fit than shoehorning a Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster into Epcot? A little bit. But I honestly don't have that big of an issue if something isn't a perfect fit to a land, as long as they do the work to make it fit thematically. I think we're all gonna ride it and we're all gonna have fun.
The pros. There's lots to do in Magic Kingdom, with no shortage of opening day rides and attractions. Plus, New Fantasyland invigorated Magic Kingdom with popular modern IP like Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid. The cons? Closing the Toontown Fair was a big loss for some, and others tend to have issues with the addition of new IP like Tron. Plus, Magic Kingdom's food is still the least impressive in all of Disney World. Before we reveal the then or now winner, give us a like, click that thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. If you really want to be part of the fun, be sure to follow us on social media at AllEarsNet. Got it? Good. On we go. Magic Kingdom is different now. It's been 50 years, but is it better? According to our readers and social media followers, the winner of the Magic Kingdom debate is the present. The new addition to Fantasyland is a popular spot for many readers, even if they had to say goodbye to Mickey's Toontown. And a new thrill ride? Well, that's a welcome addition to the park for many. Get your comments going now. This is Chris for AllEars.net. See you next time.